Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the RSC Season 8. We've gotten into the play-ins, we've left league play behind. It's a distant memory now, and now it's do or die for three more teams tonight, trying to progress to tomorrow, where they have a chance to qualify for the coveted playoffs. I've had a shave. My co-caster definitely hasn't. Joining me for this one, it is Greybeard.
Hey, Blue Wolf, how's it going? And I've had explained to me, and I often need things explained to me a couple of times, but I've now had it explained to me the difference between play-ins and playoffs, so I got it. So tonight we got two games. Third plays sixth place, and then fourth place plays fifth place, and two of those will go through to the playoffs. I got it. And so kind of everything to play for here. And I guess one of the advantages of finishing third, you've not made playoffs auto, but you at least get to play the sixth place team.
Yeah, making things easier for yourself. We will start third place sixth. It is the Pyromancers taking on the Crusaders if we got the team stats up. What's beautiful about play-ins is that you get to see both teams with the exact number of games played, something that won't be true throughout the remainder with now the 5-game series coming into play. So there'll be some teams playing more than others. It's a bit awkward. But for now, Greybeard, I'm just going to appreciate how the stats are nice and even. Any numbers that stand out to you on the sheet?
Well, you always tend to go to goals scored and who's been the big goal scorers. And I remember casting the Pyromancers in the middle of the league, and King Keze was the top goal scorer then, and he remains so with 59 goals. So a bit of a machine there. And then on Crusaders, Laggard with his 40 goals, but a lot more games, 67 games played. So yeah, listen, we got goal scorers, but Crusaders a little bit leaky in defense.
Yeah, a little bit leaky indeed, but I mean, when you're the sixth place team, your stats are never going to be as good as third place. This Pyromancer side, they've got some great players. Ohio as well, who you didn't mention, got that sweet 1 goal to 1 game ratio. I love to see that. Everyone's sitting with a 70% win ratio. Hopefully that will be enough for them to take this one tonight. Pyromancers, for those who aren't acquainted with them, heavy favourites for this one. Their stats are looking a lot more healthy than Crusaders are. But Crusaders, it's a completely different beast playing in a best-of-5 series. Do you think they'll be able to perform an upset today?
You know what? Well, the reason you have these playoffs or play-ins where you get into the bracket stage is it provides the opportunity for teams who might have underperformed to have a fantastic night and pop off. And a team that's done quite well, they're under a little bit of pressure to continue their form. They don't want to have a bad night, but that lends to the unpredictability and the excitement of it all. And I guess I have a little bit of bias here, Blue Wolf. Laggard on the Crusaders is a fan of my stream. He's often there, and I see, he's playing for the Crusaders. So just because of that, but also because technically they're the underdogs, I wouldn't mind the Crusaders causing an upset.
Well, then, I'm going to be contrarian. I'm going to back the Pyromancers. They are the favourites going into this one, so I've got a good chance of being right. The players were in the server 5 minutes early. It's absolutely unheard of, so we might get them started right about now. How about we get into this one? The first game of the evening, there is 2 more play-ins games right after this one with similar stakes. We'll be casting one more of those right after this one. Greybeard, take us away.
All right. Well, you're probably being the smarter of the two of us here, with going by the numbers and the information numbers and logic. So not a bad thing to do, but they are away. This is a best of 5, and the best of 5 is always interesting because it's kind of long enough that maybe you can get away with losing one game, but it so quickly gets out of hand. So you don't want to leave it for too long. And it is the Crusaders under a tiny bit of pressure early on. The Pyromancers have had the better of the action early on. Laggard there with the clear, but not. It's coming right back right now. Pyromancers controlling the play up against the Crusaders net.
Yeah, I've heard people chattering away in the chat saying that we've got Noosh. She's a bit of a new player, but it's Ohio. 1 goal a game, he's keeping that record going. That's goal number 69 and game number 69 for him. It's Small Panda with all the hard work really in Ohio just to be able to tap that one in. The defense went absolutely missing there for Crusaders.
Yeah, well, there was a whiff by Panda, which I think threw Laggard off, and he then whiffed the defense, which then the ball landed right in front of Panda, and he could push in that great little pass. So a good start to them, and they probably deserve it given their early play, their early action, their early pressure. And now Crusaders got to find their way back in. They don't, of the two teams, they seem the team that hasn't yet settled. So the sooner they can do that, the better. But in the meantime, they're under pressure and they are going to concede. And it is the assistant of the last goal who now scores. Small Panda, but great work from King Kze to get that pass in, Blue Wolf.
Yeah, that was absolutely rifled across the box there, hitting that crossbar with so much pace. Small Panda, it was one of those balls you just want to hit, and that's exactly what he did. Hung it up well and knocked it into that top left corner. As this Crusader side, they need to gather themselves pretty soon, as this game one looks to be going beyond them. It is still, 4 minutes to go. But when you're 3-0 down so early, it's going to be very difficult not to get demoralised, as King Kze kind of maybe get it to be a little bit worse. Ohio's caught them out. There's not that many people back here at the moment. They have managed to recover in time. No one really attacking it. Ohio ended up letting that ball slip through his grasp. King Kze's let that one slip through his grasp. Small Panda there to recover. Been the maestro conducting this fine orchestra of the Pyromancers offense at the moment.
Oh, King Kze's made a bit of a mistake, and Lagarde get on the end of it. He can, and he will get one of those goals back, and that Blue Wolf is going to settle them right down, I think.
Yeah, I mean, they needed something, and they were gifted a little bit there. Oh, Ohio was so unlucky. It's so frustrating to have that ball slotted past you. It was King Kze with the initial miss. Not the first time we've seen him struggle a little bit in the air. He's been covered well by his teammates so far, but that one time, Lagarde just too strong, able to slot that ball home expertly. But King Kze, a chance to redeem himself now, has that ball up the other end of the pitch, flicks it off the ceiling well. It's a good pass into the centre. Ohio plays it safe, doesn't initially commit for it. It's able to cut across well there. Well read. Saves himself just enough time to be able to stop that ball going into his net. Goes down the other end. He's not going to get a chance to shoot. King Kze might though. He does, hangs it up well, but it's knocked wide from Satan's. This game's, it's come alive in the last 30 seconds or so.
Yeah, and it has tightened up, and I think it's a function of Crusaders were gifted that goal, but now that they've scored it, they do look far better in the game, a little bit more settled, a little bit more controlled in their play, and they're having opportunities. We saw they were few and far between earlier, but now they're getting over to the other side fairly regularly, but now a mistake of their own in defense is going to put them under pressure. Nice 50 from Panda. Almost set something up, but it has tightened up. It's a far more even than the start.
Oh, that could have been a beautiful flick on. Instead, it's a pass. Lagarde to hit. Decent routine save there from Small Panda. Ohio going the other end. That ball could have gone anywhere. Instead, it goes wide of the net. There's two players out in the general area of it, but neither of them are attacking it. King Kze will get a chance to hit. Hanging up in the air at the moment. Satan looks like he's driving the wrong way. Actually, thought he was going to hit that ball. Thought he was a member of the blue team. Instead, now they are attacking. Satan's gets one demo. First demo of the series. Not really seen those kind of plays yet. Maybe a chance to change it up for them as Crusaders. They have a chance to shoot. Noosh has hit that straight into Small Panda anywhere but there, and that could have been us tied up in the series. Now immediately on the back foot. It's a pass from Ohio. Not well read though by King Kze. He was expecting it probably with a little bit less momentum. Both these teams are just lacking that final touch to be able to score the next goal of the series, which I think will be absolutely crucial in seeing how this game one goes.
Yeah, and 2 goals, 2 opportunities, 3 now that you feel Crusaders should have put away. And if they can fix up that final third and get into that final third with a little bit more venom, a little more power, a little bit more accuracy, they're going to do far better. But they've kept themselves in it. It's a 1-goal game, and they continue to build and find opportunities. Here's another one. Satan's general's up, and he can't get the angle round to put it down toward the net, and almost bumps Noosh as he makes his way back. But this is good. They've got just under a minute to level up this game. And you feel that this game does have at least one more goal in it. Noosh now! Oh, he sneaks it past. I thought he didn't have enough power on it, Blue Wolf, but sneaks it into the bottom left, and we have a level game.
I'm shocked Ohio didn't have the momentum to be able to get across there. Must have been absolutely zero boost in the tank. That's so frustrating. A second time that they've been beaten, second time Ohio will be feeling incredibly annoyed. The ball just going inches past him. Wasn't even his own fault. It's just so close. Such fine margins and play-ins. That's what you get. Game's decided on a knife edge. Still plenty of time in this one for one of these teams to grab a winner before overtime, perhaps. At the moment, it looks like Crusaders side who could do it. They have the momentum. That ball's going to be cleared away, though. It's missed in the air. Small Panda with a second touch. The Noosh has gathered it well. Drags it into that corner. Looks to centre. Bounced off the ceiling well. Lagarde's going to just end up trying to take this down. Gets it over one. Not quite. King Kze able to touch it. Small Panda's shot isn't going to find its mark. Looks like it will be overtime. A chance for Small Panda dragged wide. It's going to be pushed back by Ohio towards Kinkasey, looking to drive it. Ends up putting it just wide. He's going to try and set up his teammates here. Small Panda's up for it. It's a weird team block. Oh, Kinkasey, did he just stop Small Panda scoring the winner?
I'm not sure if he did in the end, or if Small Panda jumped over it. If he was too high, and it was hard to see. But we do have a game on overtime, and this is good for Crusaders. This is going to give them a bit of confidence. They will have gone into this knowing they were the underdogs, but here they are challenging, and maybe they find a way through. Laggard, he can't get round. Hits the post and out, and somehow the Pyromancers survive, but they're still under massive pressure. Laggard is going to kiss the crossbar. My word, if they can get their radar sorted, Blue Wolf, they're going to do very well.
If the net was just a foot wider, they'd have scored about 4 by now, but that somehow this Pyromancer side, after being on top for so long, they're just hanging on now. That ball has to go in at some point. Surely Small Panda, another save. Ohio trying to drag it down the other end now. Noosh is going to go up for it, wins that one, keeps them stuck firmly in their own half as Pyromancers, they're clinging on for dear life. That's going to be wild from Satan's General. A good chance to score there, perhaps goes a begging again. Now it's Ohio trying to attack it. Noosh wins the 50, trying to continue that pressure. It's actually Small Panda to miss it in the air. First time he's put a foot wrong. By far the best player on the server so far. Here comes Laggard though. Wants to leave his lasting marks on what has been a thoroughly thrilling game one. We're still waiting for that crucial goal though.
Yeah, and you know, it's been a good overtime for the Crusaders. They've had so much pressure, and I just worry that they're not taking these opportunities. And if they go on to lose, and we've all been there, Blue Wolf, we know how it goes. One errant bounce and a pension or whatever, you can go behind and lose the game in overtime, and that might just hurt them. Is that heading toward an open net? Oh! The General gets there. Nicely done.
I thought he'd used his jump already. I didn't think he was going to be able to get that one on. I thought he had just let that one slip through. That would have been such a frustrating way to let the game slip. But as it stands, they're still in it. Still fighting. This could be the chance, though. Ohio leading it forwards. It's going to bounce nicely off that corner. Satan's General able to make a clearance. Can come away with the ball here, too. Picks up that 100 boost. And just about wins that 50 with Small Panda. Ball's looking centrally. Ohio with the clearance. Small Panda to knock it further away. Noosh should be able to get his angles. He does. But a swarm of blue players have surrounded him. Ohio, that's too high for him. He's not going to be able to direct that one goal bound. Small Panda, the Maestro, takes it under his wing once more. Can he do anything? Not quite. Kinkasey now. Chance to redeem himself, perhaps. He misses it in the air. Ohio will have a chance to knock it long. We'll be chasing this one, desperately looking for that goal. It's going to be a shot. It's almost found the angle. He's going to get a follow-up. And they survive. Pressure after pressure. The Pyromancers push forward and they take game one.
Blue Wolf, you know, they will look back at this was a 2.5 minute overtime, half a game of Rocket League, and for the first minute 30, minute 45, so much pressure from the Crusaders, and they just lacked that venom in the last third to find the net. They were either getting saved out from soft shots or hitting posts and crossbars, and then it took about, you could see the Pyromancers just pushing back, and they made their way over, and then the pressure was all with them, and they made it count. And they are the favorites here, and they take game one.
Yeah, I mean, at no point did it feel like an even game.
Lose two. So this is a really, really important game for the Crusaders.
You certainly can't lose the first two. That puts you in an untenable position. So Satan's General and Go, they need to dust themselves off, pick themselves up, and go out and win a game of Rocket League. They're on the early pressure now. Laggard's going to hit that one down. Kinkasey says thank you very much. He's going to start a drive of his own, knocks it to the corner where Noosh calmly dispatch of it's flicked again. Small Panda looking to put a mark on this game as he did the last. Laggard going for the air dribble, not going to get it. Small Panda to pick it up with a chance to shoot. Satan's General will be there in time. Had the most points of anyone last game for the Crusader side, with 0 goals and 0 assists, all from saves, and that's a save from Small Panda needed to be made. The net all of a sudden was agape here, as both these teams may be looking a little bit ropey defensively here, but no real killer blows being landed yet.
Yeah, well, you know, they say that one of the key skills in Rocket League is being able to hit the ball hard on target, and we've seen a couple of times where there were net opportunities. If a player could give it enough source, enough firepower on target, but we are 0-0 here, but you do feel that the Crusaders have the better of it. A shot on target, and there it is. Small Panda sneaking one in there. Two players were right there, two defenders, but neither of them could get any contact on that. Oh, Lagarde was, I think, falling over in the net.
You hate to see that, but that was perfect placement. I don't think Small Panda could have put that one any better. You mentioned a lot about power. There wasn't a lot of power on that shot. Opted for placement instead was the right call. Was able to beat out both the keepers as King Casey looks to add insult to injury with a second goal. Not able to find it. It'll be Small Panda with a chance to shoot again. That was also well placed, but thankfully Lagarde was as well. Able to stop that one going in. A passing play. Perhaps this could be a pass from Satan's General to Lagarde. It is! It's just dragged wide though. Ohio, I think, did enough there to stop that one going into his net as Small Panda will be able to launch this one long. Turn defense into offense perhaps, but nope, Lagarde's there. Feels like Lagarde has had so much time on the ball going for those dribbles. He might get a chance of free net there as King Casey is able to bail his team out not once with twice there. 2 touches to get the ball away. I feel like this might be a repeat of game number 1 as the early pressure was with Pyromancers, but it feels like it's now starting to swing towards Crusaders.
Yeah, and we mentioned the lack of demos in that first game. The physical play hasn't been a key part, and there have been a couple of opportunities, particularly for the Crusaders, where you feel a bump play might have worked out for them, but sort of choosing not to go. It is something you got to be cautious of, because obviously you can be out of position if you're going for the bumps, but it might be something for them to consider. But for the time being, they're going to have to consider their defense and get this away from their own goal line so they can get something going and developing on the other side. They're under so much pressure. They survive, and now Lagarde is 1v1, but his touch is too heavy, and Ohio can bring it right back.
Yeah, it looked like such a good opportunity there. Ohio had it absolutely read like a book, though. Was able to clean up. Expertly done by him. Lagarde again starting off another attack. That's going to be a much more successful one. I thought King Casey wasn't getting there in time. But once again, the Pyromancers side, they've bailed themselves out on the line. No one's really up for that ball, so it will once again be reclaimed. In fact, no, it's been left awkwardly. Ohio was almost able to slip in between the lines there and create maybe a second chance. Is this game, I'm shocked there's only been 1 goal so far. It's been something like 15 shots. Both these teams' shooting percentages will be taking a hit after this one.
Yeah, and the aggression good, the finishing not so much, but Pyromancers, if it stays this way, they won't mind too much. They'll take the 1 goal win and put themselves 2 games up. But now Lagarde trying to bring around the corner. Small Panda will send it right back, and it gets to the halfway line. King Casey is going to try bring around. Ohio now, very nicely done. Looking to control, slow it down. There is a touch from the defender, which brings the attack to an end. But the time running out slowly. High and loose. Who's got this? Oh,
not Lagarde.
Oh, dearie, yeah. Oh, the demo. Where is that ball? Oh, okay, I lost it for a moment.
Hopefully the players didn't. Hopefully they were making sure they were staying in ball cam there. Small Panda will try and gather this ball. It's actually going to be demoed. The aggression, as you mentioned earlier, exceptionally good throughout this game. Finishing not quite as much as no chance was created there. Ohio will have to cut across the net. He's not able to do so. Not the strongest shot in the world, but if you just keep peppering that net with shots, eventually one of them will find its mark.
Yeah, I'm trying to see what happened there. There must have been a rotational mistake, because when Lagarde hit that, I was very sure that someone was going to get there and touch it away. But 49 seconds left, and the Crusaders have leveled up. Are we going to see a game 2 overtime? And that first one was pretty epic. Half a game, 2.5 minutes of overtime it took the Pyromancers to find the winner. But 36 seconds left, and it's high and loose. Ohio is there. Does he get the touch? He doesn't. King Casey behind. Well, pick it up. What turned out to be a fake from Ohio gives a shot to King Casey.
Well, whether it was a fake or not, no matter what his intentions were, if you ask Ohio after this game, he'll definitely say that one was calculated. Excellent shot by King Casey, the most powerful shot we've seen throughout this game so far, and they've not instantly given it away. How's that happened? Moose has just been given an absolute Christmas present. It is the season after all.
And it has to be said, that's the second goal in the series that's been a bit of a gift from the Pyromancers, a gift to the Crusaders. And they took it, so overtime still a possibility here.
Still a possibility indeed. This absolute machine that is the Pyromancers offense is looking to get firing once more, though Small Panda's shot had not enough power to be anything other than just a tap away from Satan's General. It's going to be a double demo. King Casey trading blows with Satan himself, as Lagarde will just watch this ball go back towards his own net. Maybe just a case of letting this one hit the ground. No, it is going to be capped up, at least temporarily, as we see our second overtime in as many games. This has been a remarkably close game, and it'd be hard to expect it changing as we go into this overtime.
And this is so important for the Crusaders. They got to win. Oh, the general, where was the boomer? That needed 115k an hour boomer into the net. Oh, the demo. Oh, but Satan's General doing well in defense on the other side. Oh, they survive a scary one, a nasty one, and now they might have an opportunity, but Lagarde loses out on the 50. Panda's up, and he will put the shot wide. The Crusaders treading dangerously, skating on thin ice, and all the other dangerous cliches. King Casey trying to sneak it past, doesn't. And now, all right, so it's been a fairly open overtime. A lot of long, booming clears that haven't accomplished much, although King Casey's up. Oh, and it's a miss.
I think maybe Crusaders are hedging their bets. I know the Pyromancers have made some rotational mistakes. Maybe they're going to try and find another goal into an empty net, but I don't think that's going to happen. I feel like the Pyromancers, they might have learned their lessons, learned from their mistakes, and will hopefully keep it short up for the remainder of this game. That ball is going to be awkward to deal with. It's going to bounce not that nicely for Small Panda. He is going to retain it a little bit. Ohio's able to lead it away. Wins that 50 well. That ball's going to be hanging. Lagarde needs a touch. He ends up leaving it, but I think maybe the call came through that no one from the Pyromancers was attacking it, so they were able to just let that one sail past. King Casey's looking to put in a centre ball. It's going to be touched by Ohio. It's going to be hanging on the line. The third man isn't up. Small Panda's here now, before Noosh was able to recover and stab that one away as the ball's going in the opposite direction. Now Satan's General with it. Good 50 block coming through, as I think the Pyromancers, they might be starting to turn the screw right about now, but this might be a chance to shoot. It's going to be an excellent chance to shoot. Noosh! No!
Oh, the ball hanging halfway on the line. Blue Wolf, and oh my word, somehow they don't get it in, and we've crossed over 2 minutes, another long overtime.
Another long overtime indeed. That would have been an awful ending to it if it had been an unintentional miss there in the air by Satan's General. It's going to be still hanging up that end of the pitch. Lagarde will eventually lock it away. Satan's General might get that flick on touch. Those are so difficult to save. He's not going to be in the end. It's going to be Lagarde trying to pass to Noosh. Does fall just about to Noosh. It ends up being a 50, and Ohio's able to deal with it. Satan's General on the halfway line. That's not enough power. King Casey's going to boom it back the opposite direction towards that corner, trying to start an attack going here, and they might get another chance at it. Small Panthers touched around Ohio. Things getting messy here. There's not a whole lot of players back, but they have rotated in time now. So it seemed the defense could have been a bit dicey there for Pyromancers. They all got sort of caught in the same area of the pitch, but they've been able to recover, been able to try and get down the other end of the pitch, try and seize this winner that it seems like they're owed, and that's exactly what they've taken. Once again, they grind it out at the end.
Oh dear, another one goes begging, and they're going to be looking back. King Casey getting his second of the game, top scorer for the Pyromancers, but Crusaders, they're going to be there's a few moments they can look back on where they should have taken this game, not the least of which is that ball that seemed to hang forever on the goal line and then was cleared away. And now they are 2 behind, and it becomes very, very difficult. Now it's 3 in a row. 3 in a row or you're out.
It's worth pointing out, I just remember last game they both had 11 shots each. In this game they had even more. They both had 13 again. This game's so even in terms of the amount of Pyromancers with one hand on a place in the next round of the play-ins as Small Panda. The MVP, of course, probably for the series from me is Noosh. That was a great chance. I don't know how he's put that one over. Instead, it's Satan's General looking to redeem mistakes. It's a miss from Lagarde. This could fall awkwardly here. Satan's General almost took it around his teammate. Thankfully, things have stabilised somewhat. Ohio's got no boost, isn't going to be able to follow that ball. He's just popped up in the air. Instead, it's King Casey to get it. It's going to be centred. Lagarde will have to deal with this. Has done expertly, calmly done by him as Small Panda flicks it to King Casey. He's not going to be able to grab that one very nicely. He does get a touch on it in the end. But at the moment, it's a bit bitty. It's a bit pinball at the moment. The ball getting knocked around. Neither of these two teams really forming any sort of rhythm as of yet.
Yeah, and it's a tough thing because there's a few things going on here. Or King Casey, he's going to get intercepted. Nicely done. There's a few things at play here. One, You got the team that's 2 behind. They're fighting for their life, so there's a bit of concern, a bit of nerves about that. But then there's the team that are 2 up, and they want to finish it off. But how many times have we seen that the team on set point kind of choke it and not close it off and allow the other team back in? And I think those 2 factors causing that kind of little bit, the pinball play, as you say, banging it back and forth. No one really grabbing control of the game just yet.
1 minute gone. I think by this stage we'd seen 2 goals in both the other games, so maybe we're seeing things change up in game number 3. It can't all be the same, surely. That ball just hanging about near the Pyromancers net. That might have been a gifted chance there. Small Panda, it's probably his first mistake of the afternoon off that wall. He's going to be able to redeem himself. That was one of those balls that's just going so quickly. If it hits anyone's car, it could go absolutely anywhere. Thankfully, from a Pyromancer's perspective, it ended up going away from their net. It's Noosh to hit it centrally. Small Panda to tap it away. It's fallen for Laggard. Kincazy up in the air. Small Panda will grab that 100 boost and chase after it. He ends up hitting it high, looking to try and hit it off the ceiling. That's really good passing play by him. Ohio ends up having his follow-up shot blocked. So both these teams not having a lot of shots yet. It's half the game gone. We've only had 3 shots between them.
And it's felt a little bit like a warm-up game, like a warm-up scrum, like let's just hit the ball. Like, you know, when you see teams in the test server, they're just getting their fingers loose. It's felt a little bit like that, with no serious intent on either goal just yet. And we're about to tick over halfway and yet to see an opening goal. Okay, Satan's General, it's a 1v1. Oh, he's rushed it and missed it, and he's let the moment go. Noosh, though, looks to control. Small Panda does well, stands firm and gets
bad touch.
The shot. Oh, this is dangerous. Okay, Noosh will get the clear.
I was worried there when Satan's General ended up just passing it in to the 3 men of Pyromancers, and now it's the shots for Crusaders. 2 of them, in fact, in quick succession. That ball, a lot of pace on it, banging away from the net. Laggard up in the air for it. It's Kincazy to take it down, though. Hits it in that sweet spot, so it flicks into that centre. Ohio's going to drive it low and hard, and Laggard's hit it, but ends up just dragging it to the inside of his post. What a frustrating goal to concede. But I think Ohio's just perfectly threaded the needle there through the defence.
Yeah, and what I'm seeing here is for the most part these teams are fairly even. But if it were a race, the Pyromancers are just at sort of a quarter of a second faster. They just faster enough that they're going to finish ahead. And we see that with the equal number of shots, but just 1 more goal being scored by Pyromancers, and that's giving them the win. So tight, but they're ahead.
Yeah, it's also the fact they're so consistently just that 1% better. They might be turning on the Sal now. Ohio. That's a good goal. He sort of maybe opened the floodgates, perhaps. Maybe the Crusaders' momentum has been broken. It's Ohio's 2nd goal of the game. The player who's lit up this server, and that's going to be another frustrating one for Crusaders, that they weren't able to keep that one out of their own net. Yeah,
this is tough now. I mean, they have come back. They came back in both games, but the difference here is the time, 1.5 minutes to find those 2 goals. So they're going to have to sort out their power and accuracy issues pretty quickly. Laggard can't follow that, can't get the follow-up touch for a pass. Satan's General, his shot's going to go a little bit wide. He has a follow. Oh, but he hits it straight towards Small Panda, who can get up and get the clear. And now if he scores on the other side, that will surely be that. They are saved from it for now. The General does get it in front. Laggard's up, but so is Ohio.
Still got the ball, though. That's flicked across. Noosh is going to keep it alive instead of being able to get a shot on. Laggard's up for it. It's a double commit in the defence. It doesn't matter, though. It's just a case of getting that ball away. Noosh dragged it painfully on the ground. Ohio will not get there first. It's going to be still hanging up on the Pyromancer side of the pitch. It's still feeling quite dangerous for them. Ohio with maybe a chance to clearance. No, Noosh has got a touch to this. Somehow they're keeping that ball rooted to that corner, trying to get it into the centre. No, it's a great touch away by Small Panda. Ball still hanging there. That demo from Ohio might be enough. Instead, it's still curling towards the net. Kincazy trying to hit it away. Satan's General will try and follow it. He is going to get a chance to bang it back towards that net. They're really pounding the door, but the time's going down. 1 goal in it with 20 seconds. I think it's possible.
It's definitely possible. I think it certainly favours the Pyromancers, but these are always so sweaty. I mean, and Rocket League delivers this sort of thing so often. 8 seconds to go, 12, 15, and in this case, 20 seconds to go. The Crusaders, they're going to need to make something happen like really soon. And it's on the wrong side of the pitch for them. And now the 20 seconds has become 10 seconds. It's the final countdown. They got to make this happen. They got to make it happen now. Can they? Oh, Lagon gets it right in front. No one there for the tap in. And that, you feel, is going to be that, Blue Wolf.
Well, the ball's still up in the air. Not anymore. It has hit the ground. Pyromancers, as soon as I open my mouth, they claim the victory. Ohio with the 2 goals to be able to do it, but that chance where the ball came across the net, it just feels so dangerous. There was no one really attacking it for Crusaders, just too high up the pitch. They are going to be sunk 3-0. I don't think 3-0 really has the gravity of how close that series was. A gap of 1 goal every single game between the two sides.
Yeah, it is a little brutal because it'll go into the record books as a 3-0 sweep. So as far as anybody's concerned, it would be, oh wow, they were clapped, but it was really close. Two over.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the RSC Season 8 Challenger play-in. It's our second game of the evening. We're watching Scorn versus Party Rings now. Joining me as he did for the last game, it's still Greybeard.
Well, howdy, Blue Wolf. Here we are. So a clean sweep in the first one, a little closer than the score suggested. But it is the Pyromancers who will go forward to tomorrow for their chance to get to the playoffs. And the second game in the same side of the bracket, this is 4th and 5th place. They're pretty close, but Scorn on paper should take it down. But if we look down the stats, Scorn slightly better in just about everything there. But at the bottom, shooting percentage 31 versus 32 for Party Rings. So close, and I think they're close enough, Blue Wolf, that it's going to come down to who feels and does better on the day.
Yeah, I mean, with Scorn having that slightly worse shooting percentage, but scoring 68 more goals than their opposition, it's going to be scary that the amount that they're going to shoot throughout this series, I predict. And if we slide on over to the player stats, we'll be seeing who will be committing a lot of these shots. Looking at the players, it will be Swift, Torchic, and Frizzle My Shizzle will be in the server. We're not going to be having revised Neil. Torchic subbing in, but he's such a talented player. It's not a step down at all. 30 games played, 25 goals, 25 assists. He's worthy enough. I think he's ready to play in play-ins. I don't think he's like one of those subs that just comes in for league play just to fill time. I think he is basically a fully coordinated player in this roster.
Yeah, and then Frizzle My Shizzle, the goal machine, 72 games. He's played in every single game. The only player to have that honor, having not missed a game, 71 goals, pretty much a goal per game. So he's a bit of a machine there and will want to be continuing that record and should be a key player with that stat, 35% shooting percentage. So a key player, at least on paper.
Yeah, definitely. One more thing I want to mention before we get this game started. RSC famously best of fours all the way through the regular season. This was a little bit different. Best of 5 series coming through. Will these teams be able to adapt? Well, it's Scorn taking on Party Rings. Scorn in the blue, Party Rings in the red. Greybeard, take us away.
All right. Well, this is game 1. Game 1 of a best of 5. And both teams playing here for a chance to get into the playoffs. The winner here will go forward to tomorrow to play for one of 2 spots available in the playoffs. Big Mac and Fries with an early booming shot toward goal, but not a teammate in sight to support the action. And similar here, another pass into the middle, and no players close by to offer any kind of support. So they're going to want to get that spacing kind of sorted out so they can support each other better in offense.
Yeah, it feels weird. It feels like we've got 2 players in the potato life cycle here. We've got Big Mac and Fries, and we've got Mr. Potato. Maybe the potato gang will be able to link up well. It's going to be Torchic on the ball at the moment. Wins 2 50s in a row. having an early impact here as Frizzle will have a chance to shoot. It's going to be a pretty tame shot. It's going to be dragged wide even. Didn't need to be cleared away to stop any follow-ups coming through. It's Sensa to take the touch. Big Mac and Fries and Mr. Potato on top of each other, but the ball is going to be knocked away eventually. Frizzle might shizzle again with a second bite at the cherry. That ball's hanging. Needed to be dealt with by Mr. Potato, which it was swiftly and adeptly. For Swift looks to start another attack of his own, gets the ball over the defender, loops it into the box where there's no one going to be attacking it. It's a double miss, in fact. Frizzle will be able to flick that one in. It's looking like it's on target, in fact. No real chance of it going in. It's a double commit from the offense. They could be left wanting at the back, but it's not going to matter if you're overcommitting at the front, if you're able to put that ball in the net.
Yeah, a bit of scrappy play at the back there from Party Rings. The 15 seconds leading up to that, they weren't in control and desperately trying to just get some touch to buy themselves some time. It never came, and they find themselves a goal behind. Oh, but this is a good kicker for them. Someone can follow. They don't. And Torchik is going to get past two. It's a 1v1. One left in the net, and Sensor does very well to come out and meet it. But it was an all-or-nothing sort of play there, Blue Wolf. If he didn't get it, it was a goal.
Yeah, there was a chance there he could just be left for dead, but he read it well, did expertly. Swift with an excellent read there. The player in the net unable to stop that ball. They just had too much heat on it. 104 kilometers per hour, and that's after the deflection from Swift. I can't even see who got a fingertip to it. I think it was Big Mac and Fries was unable to divert that one, as it feels like the Scorn side, they're starting to grind down a Party Ring side who were the underdogs coming into it. They're looking a little bit outclassed here early doors.
Well, they have Scorn have 60 more goals than Party Rings do, so they do score a lot of goals. Look at this read by Torchik. My goodness, what a finish for the third goal. They're now running away with it.
Well, I think the gap between them is 61 now. That's another one to the pile. 3-0. Torchik just seems to get lost in their other corner, but it doesn't matter when you get an excellent pass, excellent bit of service. The sub stepping up, 2 goals for him, leading the line for his side. Scorn now looking pretty out in front. Swift might be called out here on the line. He's not going to. Gets it away well. That Sensa hits it into the corner, looking to set up for a potential future chance instead of investing in the early shot. Torchik had a chance to go for the hat-trick. It ended up hitting it fairly well wide. Swift to try and lead it in. It's going to be hanging over the goal line. Mr. Potato, the bump threat came through. The demo is not in the chat, so he's not going to get the credit for it. But look at the man in the box here. Swift makes Mr. Potato jump, makes things awkward. Frizzle was able to slide in and slot the ball home.
And Frizzle must shizzle with his 72nd goal, but that entire sequence of play started with Swift in his own net facing down a shot, and he had, oh, look at this, it's going to be goal number 5, and Swift with his second, and my word, are they having, it's a riot out there now. And to finish that last thought, it started with a save, and then they just moved forward, and they got the goal on the other side, and before I've even finished explaining that, they've gotten a 5th. I'm going to make a prediction here. I'm going to stick my neck on the line, Blue Wolf, and say Scorn going to take game 1.
Yeah, I feel like it could be getting very messy very quickly if this Party Ring side aren't able to shore up their defense. They're looking pretty ropey at the moment. That's Mr. Potato trying to maybe get a goal back. Could just be a consolation. I feel like it will be 1 or 2 consolation goals before the idea of a comeback even enters anyone's brains. As now it's Frizzle and Co pushing down the other end of the pitch. Swift and Torchik are looking for that hat-trick. It's also 1 goal. Oh no, it's an own goal. Is it an own goal? Did Mr. Potato get the final touch on that?
It is. No, he gets this touch, and then it is Swift, who's done so well, gets it past the last defender. Well, they get one back, and I think here that Party Rings are going to be wanting to use this game. Well, listen, my favorite thing is to write an obituary as a caster, and then the team makes a comeback, and they may still come back here. Oh, but look at this! Suddenly it's 5-2, and maybe they settle themselves, get right back in here, and stun Scorn.
Torchik said, my bad, in the chat. He's taking responsibility for that one. Frizzle was cutting across. I'm not sure where the third man was. I think it was Swift. I'm not sure where he was in that one, but it's 5-2 now. Maybe people starting to get a little bit concerned. We're almost caught out the kick out. Big Mac and Fries able to gather it, collect it in, try and calm things down. So I think things are going to be getting a little bit frantic in a few voice comm servers at the moment. Sensa leading the ball the other way. He's been quiet throughout this game 1, looking to make an impact. He isn't going to, as Swift's going to be following that ball. Mr. Potato to calmly gather and try to lead it the other direction, trying to get that comeback train well and truly steaming. It is going to be sensing his own backlines there with an upward touch. Swift is going to win it. Mr. Potato tries to clears it very well, and Big Mac and Fries, all of a sudden, it's an empty net. The ball's in an awkward place, though. He's going to have to try and find his man in the middle, and he just about picks them out. But the defender read it well and was able to deflect that ball away. I think there might not be a single other goal here, as I think both these teams, I feel like the offense might start to slow down. Oh dear, there might be one there. Frizzle's able to squeeze that over the line. Things are looking a little bit dangerous for Party Rings. I think they're just trying to... Scorn are desperately just trying to hold on here.
Yeah, but you kind of think that enough time they've scored enough goals and they've burnt enough time here that even with that shaky little passage of play, you feel that they've done enough to take this game. But it will at least hopefully settle Party Rings. They've scored twice after taking a hammering early on, and that will bode well for them as they come into game 2. And they've got to use the rest of whatever's left in this game to get further settled and ready to go and not concede, because that'll be a little disappointing if they do concede that 6th. But with 30 seconds to go, unlikely they're going to find any way back in. But they have looked a little better on the second half. But Frizzle, my shizzle, he's going to have a little party of his own here. Goal 73.
I feel like that's going to be a mental reset. I think that's going to make this Party Ring side forget the 2 goals they scored. They're going to just remember the last goal of the series, which could well be that one. Frizzle with the solo play, sending the defenders to the shops, breaking their ankles a little bit there, and putting home the 6th. 2 apiece for every single player. Maybe we'll be seeing a third one. The subs already in the server. Party Rings, they've called in the Ambulancers. Elusive will try and pick them up in the next game. They could be facing down 7 here. Time is getting low. It's going to be awkward clearance from Swift. It's going to be caught in the air. This could be knocked forward again by Frizzle, looking for goal 7. It's picked up by Torchic before it is eventually launched into the ground. Scorn with game 1 in definitive fashion, outside of a 30 seconds, let's say, of madness.
Yeah, I think that's well said. Scorn had that game pretty much all the way, except for that brief period, around 30 seconds where they conceded 2. But from there, they had their moments of scrappiness. They looked a little untidy in defense, almost conceded a 3rd, but they hung on and then got the last goal. And as you say, an important one. And if we look back to the last series, position number 3 and position number 6 looked a lot closer than position 4 in Rocket League series. You know, we have one team dominant as Scorn were, and then they can't quite replicate in the second game. So we'll see soon enough, but the early pressure suggests they might just do it again. Torchic from distance. It's high and loose. Elusive should get there. No, he's beat. It's going to be in. Oh, my word. And you kind of feel it should have been saved.
I don't know. It was an excellent shot. It seemed Torchic seemed to leave it for so long. He was just like calculating, seeing how it hung in the air for absolutely dispatching with that perfect placement from him. You argue it could have been saved, but I mean, it was just such a good shot from Torchic. Probably the best shot he could have produced from that angle. With that amount of power he was able to generate. As Party Rings, once again, it seems they're on the Europa. Elusive with a bit of a baptism of fire here.
Yeah, well, hopefully he's warm. He's been in scrum. He's been in free play. He's been somewhere because he's got a lot of work to do. Oh, my goodness. And that would have been 33 seconds and a 2-goal deficit. That would have been really difficult for them. And they are looking a little scrappy out here. Party Rings in trouble. That is going to go wide. And Big Mac and Fries was doing anything to try and get a touch away here and keep them out of trouble, but it just keeps coming back in. Torchic's up. He shoots. He scores.
It's good for them to bed down, get that second goal. They had a couple of excellent chances, Torchic with 1, and then an awful few misses from Party Rings, and a passage of play where Torchic has gotten exceptionally lucky. Sees them find the second. I think Frizzle, my shizzle, was in the correct position to be able to slot it home nonetheless. But Torchic will be grateful to get that, his 4th goal of the series, and we're only a minute into game number 2. An excellent performance from him. Might be a quick answer though. Swift with a save. Will be able to chase this ball. He's not got enough boost to work with, as it will be Torchic contesting it. Frizzle will be able to launch this away. It's an awkward touch actually, as it's going to be missed by Elusive. It's still hanging there. Party Rings maybe having a little foray into the opposition half for the first time. I don't know what's happening though. They seem to be a bit all over the place. They're just missing balls they shouldn't.
Yeah, and kind of weird that Scorn are doing the same, kind of snatching at things, rushing at the plays, and where they don't need to be. I mean, they're 2 goals up. They're in control here. But Party Rings as well. It's been a really strange passage of play. Lots of misses in the midfield. No one quite sure what they're trying to do. But it may be an opportunity here. Swift will get it away and maybe reset. Nice pass out into the mid. Torchik will pick it up. Picks up the mid boost, looking to get it in, and Elusive from long distance challenges high up against the ceiling for half a clear. Oh my word, more misses again. Oh dear.
I think it was a bit of a Freudian slip when you called it the misfield instead of the midfield, because that's what these teams have been doing. Swift misses one. Torchik has got an absolute gift, a hat-trick within half of the game. Still to play, just under 3 minutes on the clock, and 400 points already. It'd be hard to keep that rate up, but I'm sure he'll be committed to it. As Frizzle My Shizzle looks to launch another attack as this Party Ring side. The substitution hasn't helped at all. They've almost looked worse, perhaps. Just more misses coming through, and they really need to steady the ship. This series does feel like almost like it's over. They need to show us something.
Yeah, and I have no doubt that Party Rings right now are underperforming. I mean, they finished 4th, so they've had their moments, they've had good runs, and they'll be disappointed with what's happening out here, and that does happen. You just can't seem to kind of get things right, and the key here is, can they reset? They've got almost no time to do it, and if they don't do it in this game, they've only got one more game to get things figured out. Elusive's going to hit the crossbar. Mr. Potato can't get the follow, and their struggle continues.
Struggling away, but I mean, only 3 goals conceded. They were 5-0 down at this stage in the last game. I guess that's something. They haven't looked as competitive. I feel like this their opposition's not looked as strong either. Like, Frizzle My Shizzle should be putting that one on target. It was a very easy chance for him to take. Ended up firing it quite a bit wide. Just maybe the Scorn side running out of steam. They've had everything their own way, which is the Burger King's logo with Big Mac and fries. He's not really had much impact in this game.
No, but it is surprising, and 3 goals ahead are Scorn, but they have been playing like it's a 1-goal game or an even game at times, where they're kind of rushing and snatching. And there again, how many whiffs have we seen in this game? It's a little bit scattered out there.
Yeah, and they're just not being punished for it. Still, 4 shots being registered for Party Rings. I'd struggle to remember them outside of that one really good chance they had. That was a great chance there. The ball falling across the net. Big Mac and Fries gets a registered shot. It seems Big Mac and Fries seem to go for the boost there instead of the ball. Could have been dicey. It's able to cut across in time to stop Torchik getting their 4th. 1 minute on the clock. This seems well and truly done. Frizzle My Shizzle should probably put a nail in the coffin there and set it up to go for the corner. It is going to be picked up in the end. Torchik with it. Frizzle's got it across the net. Should score. Has scored. Probably his 5th good chance, but eventually he's able to turn it one in.
Well, this is his 74th game and his 75th goal, I think, now. So carrying on, nice control in front of the net, nice composure. And despite their moments of dodginess, their moments of whiffing the ball and not being in control, it's going to be another dominating win for them. Game 2, and Party Rings up against it. Reverse sweep time. 3 in a row they're going to need. Oh, no. Bad miss in the air. Torchik's not gone for it. Swift might have a chance to attack it. That ball's just stuck in that centre circle at the moment. It's hit up in the air by Torchik. Will be caught. Elusive's just taken it away from his teammate. What is going on? Seems like just frustration setting in for these two sides. Maybe just a case of being a bit lax if you're from the Scorn side. You've already got this one in the bag in Party Rings. Their mentality must be shattered. They might be feeling like this series is already over. They've still got one more game to play, though. They need to try and gather themselves. Will we be seeing the resub sub? Will Elusive be leaving the server? Will someone else leave? Will Elusive still be in? Or will they stick with this roster? It was 4-0 instead of 6-2. The differential's still the same, though they weren't able to put the ball in the net. And you wonder what's worse. 6-2 is a tough scoreline. 4-0 seems better, but not being able to score is going to play on their mind. It puts a pressure on you, and you start to wonder if you're going to be able to get there. But now it's a case of, quite simply, put it all behind you, get out there and play the game that's in front of you. The calculation is really simple from here going forward. Win the next 3 games and start with this one. Yeah. Well, maybe they're going low carb here. Maybe they'll lighten themselves up and do a little better as they get rid of one of the potatoes. And now early pressure, White Sensor, can he get it in front? Elusive! Oh, he puts it wide. And really, that was a golden opportunity for them to settle themselves down and get in it. Elusive should have put that away. But they still having a little bit of pressure here. And they are looking, this is the best we've seen them start a game. So maybe they can make something happen, Mac and Fries. But they've all committed high. Oh, my goodness. Oh, they were all on the other side of the pitch. And in desperate trouble for a moment, they survive, at least for now.
Where's all this pace come from? They've just come out firing here. They've come out swinging. Frizzle's going to have an open net. Oh, he's knocked it over. Tried to go for placement too strong there. That's over the bar. It's just about not crapped in. Elusive with the save. And all of a sudden, Party Rings are playing like their lives depend on it. I suppose they do in a way. But the machine has responded. Scorn, they're facing a test and their back's up against the wall. They come out swinging as well to match. 6 shots already within a minute, and they find their first goal.
Yeah, well, it was Party Rings had such a good passage to play there, applying pressure. Elusive with a golden opportunity to bang it on. He went wide with it, and now they find themselves behind. So the hill they had to climb has become a little bit... Oh! Frizzle, but Torchic is going to get there. And after a brief, bright spot for Party Rings, they're back to where they've been in every game, chasing it from some distance behind.
Yeah, I think that's it in terms of mentality. You can't come back from this one. You've put yourselves in a hole that I don't think they'll be able to dig themselves out of. Would probably be the best comeback I've ever seen in Rocket League, considering how the series has gone up until this point. That could have gone in for some. I just seem to be leaving that one for a bit too long. Oh, I was going to mention, we have been seeing a lot of misses come through. They've already had 8 shots, this Scorn side. I can sort of understand why their shooting percentage is what it is. I can also understand why their goal count is so high. You know, if they go far in playoffs, it wouldn't be unreasonable to expect them to hit 200 goals.
Well, that would be quite something. That would be quite an achievement for the season. And, you know, as a caster, that's the one thing I'm yet to be involved in, is the epic comeback. You know, a position like this where the team's two goals behind, 2 games behind, and they find a way to reverse sweep. But you don't get the feeling that Party Rings are going to put that record under threat anytime soon.
Yeah, the fact that Frizzle, My Shizzle and Co still have the ball. They don't have it now, though. Elusive wins it. It's a flick on from Big Mac. No boost to work with. He's still going to try and get some sort of touch. Torchic, that's awkward. Swift gets it before Big Mac and Fries can come sliding in. That's bounced up in the air. Swift contesting with it. It's Torchic to gather once more. Elusive into the ground. Could he get a follow-up touch? Not quite. Swift with an awkward one. Frizzle My Shizzle though wins the 50. This has gotten to a bit of an awkward game. Bit of a scrappy pace now, but I feel like this is just kind of fine for Scorn. They can just live like this. Then, as long as they're not conceding, everything is okay for them.
Well, we saw it in the last game, didn't we? They were 2 goals ahead, 3 goals ahead, and they looked really scrappy at times, and there were whiffs, and there was chaotic play, but somehow they managed to score another 2 goals and not let a single one in. So if they just carry on doing it, they're taking down the series. They're going into that final part of the bracket, looking for one of those 2 available slots in the playoffs. And with just under 2 minutes, they just got to keep doing what they're doing right now. It is completely up to Party Rings to change up what they're doing, but now it's gotten... is it too early to say impossible? It probably is, but man, oh man, it is getting harder by the second.
I feel like if you bet on this Party Ring side now, and they did make the comeback, you would have won the lottery in terms of the amount of money you would win. That's a shot. Big Mac and Fries testing them. That's hanging on the goal line. A little bit too close for comfort for a Scorn side who haven't been tested at all, really. Frizzle My Shizzle should score. He has scored. I think it's impossible now.
Yeah, I would tend to agree. You know, when you win Rocket League games, it's a combination of playing really well and then also punishing the mistakes of your opposition. And Party Rings have struggled to do both. There have been plenty of mistakes and whiffs by Scorn, but Party Rings just not finding themselves in the right place, the right position to do anything, or if they are, they're not hitting it with any accuracy. Whereas on the other hand, despite the high the shooting percentage, they're doing enough to be 4 goals in front.
Well, it might be another goal here. They haven't scored since game number 1. 1 minute left to change that statistic. It's not looking likely at the moment. They have had chances, though. 4 shots to the good at the moment. Frizzle my shizzle with the boom. It's going to be awkward for Sense. It does get a touch. Not a great touch, though. Could have set up the offense there. It's going to be Torchic with a chance to hit this one in the air. Elusive gets a good touch on Frizzle. Will try and turn and hit. Will do so successfully, bouncing around here. Sliding awkwardly on the ground. It has been scrappy when it comes to the attack here at the moment. Scorn with very few clear-cut chances. They've created so many, though, half chances, that they've just been able to score them. It's whenever the ball is sitting in front of the net, that seems like when they're unable to score.
Well, we're coming up to 15 minutes of Rocket League that we've seen here. And in all that time, Party Rings have pretty much had 2 30-second periods that were good for them. They scored 2 goals in that first game during the first of those. And then in the opening 30 seconds in this game, they looked pretty good, but then went behind. And since they've gone behind, they've just struggled and struggled. And it's another commanding lead for Scorn.
15 minutes of Rocket League, 15 goals scored by a scoring side here, looking incredibly dangerous, incredibly threatening. I wouldn't want to play them in the next round of play-ins. I wouldn't want to be the Pyromancer side taking them on tomorrow, assuming we don't see what I think would be statistically impossible at this point. Should be a Party Rings comeback. They have 15 seconds. Show us what you got. Show us whatever you want to do. Maybe score another goal. They've only scored once, I would say, this whole series, because I'm loath to count that one home goal where Swift ended up accidentally sliding the ball into his own net. They could only score one more, possibly. They're not going to do so. Party Rings, what a disappointing showing.
Yeah, they'll be very upset, and I do think it's a case of just having a really bad day, because while Scorn were ahead on the numbers, when you look at the stats, they are on paper a slightly better team. They weren't so far ahead that they should be scoring 15 goals to 2 over the course of.
Caught up in the matrix, have to keep waiting.